All right, our first question will be Brendan, front row on your left.
Hey Deante, nice to meet you. Could you talk a little bit about how you grew up not too far down the road on I-10, what it's like to kind of come back to the state of Florida, be able to play at a big program like Florida State?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you all for having me. It's an honor. It's a blessing. Like, being a Florida kid, you always want to go to the big three in college, which is Florida State, Florida, or Miami. I always wanted to be a Seminole, so it's an honor to be here.
I'll go third row for Jordan.
Following up on that, do you have any connections with any of the Jacksonville guys on the program? Did you play against them in high school? And when you were out in Western Kentucky, what was it like kind of following Florida State? You know, obviously you weren't there, but you could see, what the program was doing.
Yeah, I know a couple of people from Jacksonville. Aaron Hester played against him in high school. He went to Fletcher, I went to Sandalwood. Yeah, he actually played running back, so yeah, it was fun playing against him. He played running back when we played against him, but he also played DN, so it was fun playing against him. And I kept up with Florida State a little bit at my time in Western Kentucky. I followed up, and still, I know it was a tough season last season, but I want to be a part of a good rebuild and fixing that. So.
All right, next will be Aslan, back right.
Deante, you were all conference as a freshman, and I'm sure there was probably interest in you from other programs at that point. What made sense for you to return to Bowling Green, and what made sense for you to get into the portal now?
Can you repeat that question, please?
You had such a strong freshman year. I would have figured that, if you had aspirations to maybe check out another program, that might have been a good time for you to go, but you ended up sticking around in Western Kentucky.
Yes, sir.
What made sense this time around to maybe see what else was out there?
Okay, yeah, I understand. So it just made sense. I feel like it was time to move on. So that year, my freshman year, I knew it was still a lot I had to learn. And I appreciate that Western Kentucky staff for developing me. I just felt like it was time to move on to bigger and better things, and I felt like Florida State was the greatest opportunity for me. So.
All right, we'll go to Ira, second row on your right.
Can you take us back through playing a bowl game, and then like hours later, it seems like you're out here coming here on a visit. And just what was that whirlwind like for you?
Oh, so honestly, that was crazy. So I was scheduled to go to a couple of schools actually. So how it happened, I was on the field during warm-ups during my bowl game. Then Florida State had hit me up, interested. I told them I'll get back with you after the game. I got to stay focused and locked in. It was actually a crazy experience. So my mom's with me, and initially we were gonna go to Texas A&M, and I was thinking about it. I was like, Florida State would make the most sense for me. I feel like I'm gonna go with this one because I feel like it's a better opportunity to see what they're talking about. 2 hours from home, it's a prestigious school, so I just felt like it was the best opportunity.
All right, next will be Liam, second row on your left.
Nice to meet you. You talked about wanting to stay and learn from the coaches at Western Kentucky in that next year. What did you learn about your game, and now looking forward with Coach White and some of the coaches here, what are you looking to learn?
So what I had to learn was, like, yeah, I played a lot of snaps, I played a lot of football, but it was still a lot of stuff I had to learn, like, about the game, such as, like, coverages, fronts, offensive fronts, like, offensive formations. It was just a lot of stuff that I didn't know. Like, the game of football is big, so I felt like I definitely caught on to it as I stayed the next season, and now I feel like I'm going to learn how to be a better player myself and help this team to win the championship.
All right, we'll come back to Brendan, front row.
Two-parter for you. The first one is kind of watching some of your film like Western Kentucky. It seemed like that defensive front played really hard, and you guys were like playing with each other. I think 4 or 5 guys ended up going up to the Power 4 level. What was it like playing with that group? What did you learn from your time at Western Kentucky?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know what I'm saying? I love those guys. They're like family. They'll always be family to me. We used to get extra work in during the summer, during the springtime, so we built a bond. And I feel like having a bond with your teammates, like, if you have that bond, like, nothing can separate y'all. Y'all will only go up. Like, it'll be awesome playing together, especially with these guys now. Like, we all been getting in extra work, and I feel like if I just keep doing what I did here, we'll all be great and we'll all excel in the field.
Are there any similarities from the scheme you were playing at previously to the one you'll be in now at Florida State? You're kind of learning this new front and whatnot?
It's pretty similar. It's just, at the end of the day, it's just run and hit, be dominant, play football, and that's what I'm here to do. So.
All right, we'll stay there for Chris.
on the subject of scheme and your skills, how do you fit it? What is it that you do well that fits what Tony White's going to ask for you to do?
Honestly, I could do whatever. I could play inside, outside, stand up, hand in the dirt. I feel like I could do it all. Whatever you need me to do, I'm here to do it and dominate and excel at it. Help this, like I said, help this team win the championship, and that's it.
All right, next will be Matt, second row on your right.
To keep on the Tony White's defensive scheme, what has it been like kind of learning that, and what has your first impressions of the scheme overall been?
First impression is like I like it. Like they let us get after it. They let us get after that quarterback. A lot of TFLs, a lot of sacks, a lot of playmakers on the D line, and a lot of playmakers everywhere. But I feel like we got to set that tone first, and I'm ready to do that all season.
Okay, we'll go to the front row for Kurt.
How's it going? Kind of along those lines, I guess. I don't know if you had any relationship with Coach White or Coach Knight, and I guess what your impressions while you were on your visit, and I know they haven't coached you in a practice yet, but since you've been here, I guess, what's it like to be under them?
Like they expect a lot out of me, and that's what I want. I love to have high expectations because that makes me a better player, and they're definitely relatable, and I feel like that's something that's important between a player and a coach, because if you can't relate, it's not going to be as strong of a connection, and that's why I'm glad to play under them, because I have a high connection with both of them. So.
All right, we'll go back to Ira, second row.
You seem like a confident dude. How eager are you to prove to people you belong at Florida State, and how do you think you can do that?
Yeah, I'm eager, but it's not a sense of proving to people. It's more of proving to myself. Like I know I can do it. I just have to put it out on tape and dominate. And you know what I'm saying, it's a team sport. So if we all doing good together, our individual goals will arise. Like, so if we all get a championship, you know what I'm saying, everybody's gonna get what they want in the end. So there's gonna be ups and downs, but I'm excited for this season. I know we're gonna do good.
Ira again.
One of the young defensive linemen that came in last week, one of the transfers mentioned that Daryl Jackson had been helpful since they got here. Is he or anybody else kind of been helpful since you got here?
Yes, sir. All the guys that's been here since last season or the season before, they've all been helpful. They've helped us adjust to the runs, to the lifts, to the culture, the expectations, and I'm grateful for that, because I know it's a different standard than where I was at, but I want to be held to that standard here. I want to be great. It's a lot of prestigious legacies left here, and I want to be a part of that. So.
We'll go back to Jordan, third row on your left.
Your first game of the season last year was against Alabama. Your first game of the season this year is also against Alabama. I know that game against the Crimson Tide last year didn't go your way, but what was that experience like? And can you take anything away from that game that you can bring forward to this season?
It was a good experience. Got to do it with my brothers. I know it didn't turn out good, but at the end of the day, we just learned that we have to be better, do better, execute better, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to execute better, be a better player, and I feel like it'll be a much better game this time. They're definitely a good team. We're a good team as well, so I'm definitely ready for that.
All right, we'll come back to Brendan on the front row.
Coach White's defenses typically are really good at stopping the run. Is that something that you take pride in your game? Can you talk about your run stopping ability?
Yes, sir. If you can't stop the run, you can't rush the passer. You got to earn the right to rush the passer. So definitely stopping the run is something I take pride in, because if you can't stop the run, then that's on who? The D-line. Like, D-line is there to stop the run, then it's the linebackers, then it's the safety. So we got to do our job and take pride in what we do, own our gaps, get off the blocker, and make plays. So.
Anything else? All right, thanks, Deante.
Thank you.